assertiveness, and growth. Speak up. Your voice matters. Hello and welcome, English learners. Have you ever said yes when you really wanted to say no? Or stayed quiet even though you had something important to say? You're not alone. We've all been there. In today's story, we'll explore a powerful skill that can change the way you communicate: assertiveness. It's not about being rude or aggressive. It's about expressing yourself clearly, respectfully, and confidently, in English and in life. By listening to this story, you'll not only learn how to stand up for yourself politely, but also pick up useful phrases and expressions you can use in everyday conversations. So, grab your notebook, sit back, and get ready, because this story isn't just about learning English. It's about finding your voice. Let's walk beside Ana and discover how she found her voice through English. A story of assertiveness and growth. Ana Delgado was a soft-spoken young woman who worked at a charming old bookstore called El Rincón de los Libros in Mexico City. The bookstore smelled of coffee and old pages, and Ana loved every bit of it. She had worked there for over 2 years and knew every shelf by heart. But behind her warm smile, Ana had a secret struggle. She found it very hard to say what she really felt. She would often stay late, skip lunch, or agree to unfair requests. Not because she wanted to, but because she didn't know how to say no. Her coworkers, especially Luis, took advantage of her kind nature. He often left her alone with customers while he took long coffee breaks. When she wanted to speak up, a voice in her head would whisper, "What if they get upset?" So she kept silent. One rainy Tuesday, Ana had an important dentist appointment. She was about to leave when her manager said, "Ana, can you stay an extra hour? We're short-staffed today." Ana hesitated. Her heart raced. She wanted to say, "I can't today," but her mouth said, "Sure, no problem." She smiled, but inside, she felt crushed. She reached home late, with a painful tooth and a heavier heart. That night, she stared at the ceiling, thinking, "Why can't I stand up for myself? I'm not weak. I'm just afraid." She decided something had to change. The next morning, she typed into her browser, "How to speak up for yourself politely in English." She discovered the concept of assertiveness, the ability to express yourself clearly, respectfully, and confidently. She read examples like, "I'd like to help, but I'm not available right now. Let's find a better time for that. I understand your situation, but I have my own commitments." These weren't rude. They were respectful and honest. Exactly what Ana needed. She wrote down phrases and practiced every night in front of her mirror. "I'm not trying to please everyone anymore," she said to herself. "I'm learning to respect myself, too." A week later, her manager asked again, "Ana, can you stay a little late?" Ana smiled softly and said, "I'm really sorry, but I have an appointment I can't miss today." Her manager blinked, then nodded. "All right, thanks for telling me." Ana's heart danced. For the first time in years, she had stood up for herself, and nothing bad happened. In fact, she felt stronger. Little by little, Ana began to speak her truth. When Luis tried to leave his work on her, she said, "Luis, I have my own tasks. Let's split this fairly, okay?" When a customer shouted at her over a missing book, she replied calmly, "I understand that you're upset, and I'm here to help, but I'd appreciate being spoken to respectfully." Her co-workers began to respect her. She wasn't angry. She wasn't loud. She was clear and kind, and that made her powerful. 3 months later, the bookstore announced a second branch in a nearby neighborhood. The manager called Ana into his office. "Ana," he said, "I've seen you grow. You handle people with calm and confidence. Would you like to be the assistant manager at the new store?" Ana's eyes widened. "Yes, I would be honored," she said with joy. As she left the office, she whispered to herself, "This is the power of speaking up, not just for others, but for myself." Ana's journey teaches us a powerful lesson. Being kind is wonderful, but being kind to yourself is just as important. Assertiveness doesn't mean being rude or aggressive. It simply means saying no when needed without guilt, expressing opinions politely without fear, asking questions or correcting someone without feeling less than. Ana didn't become stronger by shouting. She became stronger by being calm, clear, and confident. And you can too. even if your English isn't perfect. Here are some helpful assertive expressions Anna learned, and you can too. At the workplace, I like to share my opinion on this. I believe this idea could improve our results. Excuse me, but I'd like to finish what I was saying. I'm open to feedback, but I respectfully disagree. I need some time to think before giving my answer. In a team or group, let's give everyone a chance to speak. I understand your point, but here's another perspective. Could we please stay on topic? I think my contribution was overlooked. It's okay to ask questions. No one knows everything. In personal life, I appreciate your help, but I'd rather do this myself. Please don't interrupt while I'm speaking. I'm not comfortable with that. Can we find another way? I'm learning, and I'd appreciate your patience. English isn't my first language, but I want to try. Practice tips for learners. 1. Repeat these phrases out loud in front of a mirror. 2. Role play with a friend or teacher using different situations. 3. Record your voice and listen to improve tone and clarity. 4. Start using 1 or 2 phrases a day in real conversation. And that was Anna's journey, from silence to self-confidence, from hesitation to assertiveness. She didn't learn overnight, and she didn't become bold by accident. She practiced, and most importantly, she believed she could improve 1 word at a time. So be like Anna. Speak your mind. Keep learning. Grow with every conversation. Are you ready to level up your English and confidence? Comment below with the phrase you'll try first. And before you go, if this story inspired you, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs a little motivation, and don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting stories and English learning support. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Speak with courage. Thanks for joining this learning adventure.